It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
And the Coach's Show is brought to you in part by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue, ribs, and many local favorites on Warrior Drive. Locally operated by Anne-Marie Brents and the Lanning family. John Dinkins back with you here on another ring of the Prentice Allsup Heating Air Coach's Corner. Joining me is Coach James Counce, the head coach of the Rockvale Rockets. And, Coach, a game I know you would love to have a victory, but I think there's some good positives with a few negatives. But I know a start that you found out some things last night.
Yeah, we did. And, I'm proud of the kids for – we got down at one point, it was 23-6, and, we came back and got the game tied, and now we just got to find a way to win the game. But, yeah, we found out a lot. I mean, I'm proud of the guys. Obviously there's some things we got to clean up, but we're going to make adjustments. And, we got in here and got to work this morning and getting ready for station camp.
There's one thing I know, and I know you're proud of that, but to get down by 17, and, I think a lot of people, a lot of guys, a lot of teams would say, well, we're done, But, no, you came back and made a really good game of it with an opportunity to win it. That's got to be a little credit to your coaching staff and perhaps some of those kids on that ball club.
Absolutely. It's we're trying to change the culture and work through those adversities that we face. And, coaching staff did a great job. We had some other issues, too, with, video and the drone hit another drone. And, there's all kinds of – and we had no video. There's a lot of other things that we had going on. So to be able to work through that kind of stuff and still put ourselves in a situation to win the game, that's speaks volume to our kids, understanding what we're trying to get done. And so I think we're headed in the right direction.
I know you're playing a lot of kids, a lot of younger kids too. When the lights go on, though, on Friday night, it's hard to really tell them what to expect. Do you think there was any problem with that, or did they respond pretty well to that?
We have some growing pains. We've got 46 sophomores. So that kind of tells you a little bit.
Yes.
I've got one senior on the offensive line. So we've got a lot of younger guys that are obviously getting those reps. And then we've got some guys that are older but haven't had the game experience. So with all that, we have growing pains, jumping off sides, not paying, all those kind of things. And it's week one. We're going to keep working. And it's not where you start, it's where you finish. It's all that kind of stuff. But we had those kind of things happen last night for sure.
Jonathan Hamby had a fairly good night last night in his debut this year. Tell us a little bit about his performance. Completed 8 of 15 for 130 yards and a touchdown.
He did a great job. Also did a great job running the football and
the
things that we asked him to do. At one point it got wet. I thought we did a good job. Actually had a couple turnovers there when it had stopped raining, but did a great job managing the game. Being huddle presence and those kind of things, and he's a competitor. He's a competitor. He guys feed off of him, and he's only going to get better.
Yeah, he rushed for 63 yards and a touchdown, too, so run and pass. Anton Reynolds had 15 carries for 68 yards.
Yes, sir. Anton did a great job. Rylan Hodges did a great job in there some, got banged up a little bit. But Anton came in and did the things that we had coached them to do, and then we started having some success with that. And, I think that's the biggest thing guys are realizing, that could do the things we ask you to do. Do what we're coaching you to do. Trust your teammates. And I think getting that trust, it takes time. And the more times we do things right, all right, we'll quit converting back to, what we've been programmed to do. So we're getting better at that, and guys did a great job running the football. I thought we did a decent job up front. Of course, we did make a few mistakes, but, we were able to push them around a little bit. And then defensively, it's just, a blown assignment here, communication thing here, learning the situation and knowing, that I need to be a little tighter. It's just all those things that you get from a game situation that these guys are, we just got to learn from.
It's a kind of thing that you probably won't make that mistake week 6, but you might make it on week 1.
That's right. That's right.
I wanted to talk about, you mentioned the 46 sophomores that you have, and I think people don't sometimes understand that you're putting up a sophomore against sometimes a lot of juniors and seniors. There's a physical difference. There is a emotional maturity difference in between those ages, and experience is another key. I mean, it's hard to put all those three things together overnight. It's not going to happen overnight.
It's very tough. The maturity part is probably the biggest, which with that comes, their body has gotten older, it's stronger, it's more mature from a mental standpoint. They know how to get ready. They look at things a little different. So it is, and that's why I've tried to, get these guys as many reps as possible with scrimmages and all those kind of things to try to speed that process up. And, and we have some, but it hopefully it's like you said, it's going to get better as we go through the year. And, those guys get more comfortable, about week 6, 7, 8, whatever, and hopefully that, we can keep going in the right direction.
We're talking to James Counce, the head coach of the Rockvale Rockets. And, Coach, looking for who you got next week now?
Station Camp.
And a chance to go out and the mistakes you made this week, improve on them next week. That's the name of the game, isn't it?
That's right. Absolutely. Make the corrections. Remember that feeling, disappointment, sick to your stomach feeling. Remember that on Monday. Remember that on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Remember that on Wednesday. But those are the days you win the game.
Yeah.
Those are the days you win the game. So let's get those things. Everything's correctable that we see. It's not a not playing hard scenario or a bad attitude scenario. It's just assignment stuff that we can correct. And so let's get those things correct and each week get better. That's the main goal, is to try to get this football team better each week of the season.
And, Coach, the weather looks like it's going to be great next week for practicing and even game next week. I know you're looking forward to a little bit, not maybe 99 to 100 degrees.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of sweating.
Yes,
I know
sir.
that. But,
yeah, me too.
We got up all week at 6 o'clock. I mean, we started practice at 6 o'clock, so everybody was in the building at 5:30. And then we went to school, then we worked out and watched film. It's trying to beat the heat, and it's just, that made for a long week. But, this next week, the only thing I worry about is if we do get a little spell here where it kind of feels like fall a little bit, is it going to warm back up on us again or not?
Yeah.
We get acclimated to one thing, and then it hits us again. But anyway, we got to do what we got to do.
It's Tennessee,
That's right.
Yeah. Coach, pleasure talking to you today, and we'll talk to you next week. Good luck against Station Camp.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. That's James Counce, the head coach of the Rockvale Rockets. And we've got more to come on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner. We're going to be talking Siegel and Eagleville, too, coming up. And I think that's Mr. Barrett going to be joining us here. This portion of the show brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com.
It's Brian, and as a customer of First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, let me tell you how they can show up for you. Whether I need help navigating a financial decision or just a question, I know I can pick up the phone and talk to someone who's right here in our community. In a world that's becoming more impersonal every day, it's good to know that First National Bank of Middle Tennessee is always there with real people who care.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort in our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TO